I thought I'll come in. I know it's not a good time because everybody's working or out, or so I know it's not a good time to do a live during the day or this time of day because of the time zones. But I thought I'll upload it to YouTube and everyone can catch up. So I wanted to basically touch base and catch up with you guys and let you know what I'm going through so you can see if you're going through the same. Obviously, it'll be different in some aspects because depending on what you need to be aware of. So as most of you know now, or I've already done that, we just did a big timeline, a big jump, a big shift. But, it is going through the collective because I spoke to someone last night and they're telling me they're having troubles. And they were saying they're not sleeping, they're getting woken up, they've got this negative patterns. Like I said to you, your negative patterns of thoughts and behaviors are being magnified. So it's really like so I put this background, you're under a magnifying glass. It's everything that and it just won't go away. You also will find that you're going to be, dreams are coming up. So your dreams might be quite busy. Whether you're aware of them or you might wake up in the morning or you're getting woken up at night. I'm doing this. Oh, they like every night. Around 3 in the morning, they love to wake you up and then it's downloads. So I'm getting downloads constantly. So you don't have a good sleep, I must say. So I'm getting downloads in the middle of the night. I'm getting woken up and downloads and all this is, coming in. And then you also, so there's something I thought I'll make you aware of. Maybe you're not aware of it and it might make some sense to you. You will see, like we did in the last big shift, because we've jumped and we basically left the old epoch. So the third dimensional earth that had whole density fell away. So this is the world that you were so-called born into, right? That density's fallen away, which is the old epoch, the old times. So same with your cash. Anything to do with the old earth, the old world, the old everything, that history, it doesn't exist. It's a different planet almost. So what you want to focus, you think your history is nothing to do with us anymore. That's in a complete different time, different consciousness, different earth, different energy, kind of an old epoch. So that's why your cash will be emptying as well. So your Akashic records will be emptying as well. So you'll see things like unwinding. It's like someone pulling the tape out, those old-fashioned tapes you used to get. So it's like being unwound. So if it's coming through your awareness or dreams, it's actually being unwound. It's being cleared. So a lot of stuff that you no longer, those were lessons we learned, what you want to call karma, in the old earth, the old way of being. Now we've learned those lessons, we've already shifted. So we no longer need them. So what it is that's just being released. So it's all those old lessons which you learned, which you want to call, karma. That's why your contracts were all being cancelled as well. Let me just unplug this thing, it's annoying. So you'll see that's why you were saying goodbye and, clearing the contracts with family and friends and relatives. It's because, you are basically still here, but it's a new you. You just weren't reincarnated. You were kind of reborn in the body. So that's why we cancel those contracts, because they're not bound by those contracts anymore. They played your mother, your father, your boyfriend, your husband. No. Fine, they're still around, but you are now not holding them to the contracts, because that way and the whole thing's gone. So we're free now. So what is coming up is you embodying the true you, which you don't remember because you've been asleep for thousands of years. So the source aspect of you, the real you, right? So anything that doesn't align with source, with being the true self, which is a much more, divine aspect, it hasn't got all this nonsense. So all our programs and bullshit, it's clearing the programs that we've got. Now, it's source. I just thought today, I was thinking of something, would source do that? Would source behave like I am? Say, take yourself, look at a habit. Would source do that? No. So imagine you as source. It's very easy to answer. Would you be doing this? No, I'd be doing that, So it's really magnifying where you've got bad habits, right? You're not taking care of your physical health, your, whatever it is, who knows. Food, it doesn't matter. It's just everything is coming up. It depends on you. Oh, is it going through? Mind being very busy, like negative thoughts. So if you have negative thought patterns, you had a way of thinking. It was always you seeing the planet whatever. Say it's politics or something. It will magnify it. In a certain aspect, it's going to be like on replay on steroids. And you're like, why won't it just go away? Why do you keep having these negative thoughts? it's annoying, and you try and clear it and you try and ignore it, and then you're thinking, no, okay, it's not going away for a reason. So if it's not going to want to go away, it's because it's a message, because you haven't seen what it is you haven't got. Hi. Oh, we're having fun. We're all having fun at the moment. So today I was thinking, okay, I have the same replaying, and I'm like, what is it now? So it came to my awareness today, a few things. So obviously personal clearing obviously came up. It was fascinating. It was a great thing. And it's so embarrassing when you realize the older version of you, the lower consciousness version of you in the old earth, let's say the third dimensional earth that we left. You had habits and behaviors that you had no freaking clue. No freaking clue that you even did them. And when you look back, you're like, oh, how embarrassing. So you're always horrified at your own behavior. When I look back at some of the things, and I was kind of shown, right, and all these people that you did this to, and it's like, oh my God, how embarrassing. I can't believe I behaved like that. But completely unconsciously, you weren't even aware. You weren't intentionally doing something, being an arsehole, but you just were an arsehole. Just so bad. So you're like, ooh, ooh. So yeah, it's funny. Things have been shown to me. I was like, oh my gosh, did I do that? Did I that? Oh no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like bad habits that you're completely unaware of. I mean, one came up, I was like I thought, oh my gosh, what an arsehole. So you're so embarrassed about yourself. It's like, oh my Lord, did I do that? So yeah, things are coming up, and it's like, you're going to be like, oh wow, ooh, okay, yeah, no, I don't want to, that doesn't represent me anymore. That being, that energy, that way of being is not you anymore at all. So do you still want to keep that? No, thank you. God. I mean, I'm like horrified some of the things you did and behaviors and the way you saw things and spoke to people, and you're like, oh wow. Wow. So all your little habits, like say it is condescending, say it is when you're not even aware of it. I mean, it's just so bad. You look at them, you think, oh, I was apologizing, I don't know how many people yesterday, like hundreds of people. I was like, oh my Lord, I am so sorry. How humiliating, you know. Oh gosh, I can't remember. And then patterns, like in your old earth, because that was the karmic thing you've left, right? So then your patterns are being highlighted. Oh wow, where you had, depending obviously how much, because everything's nothing can be in your experience at all if you're not a frequency and vibrational match to it. So whether you're born into family, same thing. You had these same frequency and so you know that's why you were born into. Maybe you didn't like what you were born into, but it's because you were, you know, you were sharing something there. So you got to own up to it, and then you got to see what. Wow, so I had some things to see now. This last, it was a past life now that I was born into in this vessel, right? It was so-called born into, you're never born, but it was amazing. I looked at it and I had this pattern that repeated right through my life. Relationship pattern. I was like, ooh. And it was really interesting because there's a lot of things I didn't know about me. I didn't even realize were in me. And I was like, oh, wow. So that, you know, I saw it in them, but I didn't see it in myself. And how come, oh, it was just, it's amazing. It's really revealing to you why, who, what, why, you know, you get a better understanding of yourself. Okay, I resonated with that. Okay, it was karma. Okay, it was this. Okay, it was, you know, oh, wow. It's just fascinating what's going on. So in dreams, sometimes it's coming out as well. Here's a little heads up I found. Say there's a lesson that you were battling with in your, you know, say karmic, that kept repeating, right? Because you didn't know why. You kept, you know, oh, you couldn't understand why. Everything is a reflection. It's to show you. So say all these not nice people were in your experience, and they kept appearing in your experience because you didn't get it, right? So if you can't, now if you've basically figured out the lesson and you've done your healing, okay, releasing. Source is going on you, because you are source, is going to see, okay, have you actually now got over this? Maybe there's a little something you haven't got, right? So what you're going to find now is, because we're all over the world, and sometimes those people, they can't come into your life again practically now. It's just not able or not necessary for you to see. You should know this if you've been through a lesson. Say it's a relationship lesson. you will all of a sudden meet somebody new again, and you'll see, just to see if you're gonna make those same bad behaviors, choices, patterns, put up with the same nonsense that you did before. Some you learn, some you might. So some you might have realized, and others you haven't. So what I found that was very interesting last night, or sort of this morning, I had a dream about a person who played a big lesson, a big role in my life, to really show me, whoa, big reflection, not a nice one, who played a bad guy, right? But it wasn't a pleasant role. It was a very, very painful lesson, very damaging lesson. So this person, you realized, and you'd seen, wow, now through what they were, right? And you released, and you did your healing and clearing, and you actually broke the contracts, and you did all that, you let them go. But now they can't come around in your experience just to see if you're going to fall for it again, see if you're going to, be hooked, because they may be not here, or they're in a different country, right? So this is what you're going to find. You're going to be tested to see. So what happened last night was really interesting. I had a dream about this person, but I was being tested. So because they can't be here in person, you had a dream. They put you in a situation where you're in a dream with that person and going to see, would you like, now, is there any little hook where you're still going to be like, oh, okay, where you're going to be caught? And when I woke up, luckily, because I don't remember my dreams, they know this, I never do, don't like them. So what I'll do is before I wake up, I'll have this sort of half, in the morning when you're lying, kind of a lie-in sort of thing. That's just when I'll have these dreams, so I can remember them. And then the aha moment came when I lay there a bit, and then I thought, aha, there was something in the dream. So I figured out what was going on. I figured out, okay, yeah, that was interesting. I didn't fall for it. No thanks. Okay, saw that. I had now cleared it enough to realize, no, there's no ways, So I understood and the reflection, and I saw what that person for who they are, what they are in the role they're playing. But there was something else I hadn't seen. And it was a pattern I had picked up because of my childhood. Same thing. This need I saw. Need to please, need to impress, so you were trying to say, be the clown, be the chameleon. You have to make that person happy. You have to do whatever to, get whatever. It was so interesting. And then I kind of looked, it's like you get a little flashback of the dream, and you thought, oh, look there was a little aspect in you that was looking for that. And I was like, bingo, oh my gosh, I never realized I had been doing it all my life. So it's really interesting. So they might come up in dreams. So when you see the dream, don't look at the dream as that. Get the theme. Same with, when you do astrals, people automatically, sorry, I've been, my breakfast, I'm still having I grate in the morning fresh carrot, orange juice. Normally every morning I squeeze oranges, and I grate carrots and fresh turmeric and ginger. Put it in a blender, and this is my breakfast. It's really good for you. So you've got the vitamin C, vitamin A, all those sort of things, and then you've got the turmeric. But the only problem is everyone knows, because the other stuff you buy in the shop, you don't know what you're eating. It's not the powder rubbish. So fresh turmeric, as it's called, yellow, it's not for no reason. So you get stained hands, and it stains your blender and your grater. Anyway, you can get it off. So I often have yellow hands in the morning, you'll see. I'm grating turmeric. So yeah, this was interesting. So you might find this will come up, okay? Just to check, because you've done a big shift and a big clear. And maybe there's little aspects they want to see. Did you actually got it? Have you cleared that completely from your experience now, right? So if source you can't test yourself in real life, so that person or that experience can't be replayed, like literally, it'll come up in a dream. So pay attention to your dreams or your astrals as well, because I caught that in astrals. I thought it was very interesting, because what you sometimes think that we think is literal, okay, because I saw what was happening. He was trying to row you back into the nest again. I was like, nah, but it's not that. It's not as obvious. So look for the, I would say, theme. Examine yourself. It's really interesting. You don't always get it. As I'll say, we don't. This is why. Sometimes there's something we've missed. So this is really what's happening. It's making sure you've really cleared the old you, the old patterns of being. And then what's happening a lot for me is the Maya, is because you're saying I'm source, right? Now you're embodying source as we are now. We all know I'm source, I'm this, I'm source aspect, source, my higher self. But then we're saying it's just words. We're forgetting, then you have to be source. And source is not the old you. We were taught how to behave, what we like. I mean, I'm learning big time. It's so interesting. I was like thinking, and I thought, actually, no, I don't actually know what I want right now, so I'm not making any decisions, because you think you want something. I'm not 100% sure, because this is what this is the old you, the old programmed you. What you thought made you happy and you wanted is not actually now what you might realize, I don't know, actually, maybe I'm not sure. Because that was all rubbish. It was all that you thought and everything you grew up with and believed and it was just social engineering or social behavior that you were taught. This is what you should do, and you're supposed to get married and have children, whatever. Depends on your family as well. So everything we grew up with, we were influenced by other. So we're dropping all those programs you took on, all the other people, what your mother expected, your father told you. We are being deprogrammed, really, to the true self. So this is why the old you is going, and the old contracts have been cleared, and then and now same with it. Where are your patterns? Where are your negative behavior patterns or your fear? Where is it catching you again? So you're clearing up those. Have you got over that one? Are you still fearing that? It's going to be different with everyone. So be very aware. Same with those negative thought patterns or those negative behaviors or habits. It's like they're put on steroids or amplified. So they might be worse. I need to bring it to your attention. So it's not because it's getting worse, it's because if it doesn't want to go, it's because you've missed something. It's like me, I was like, oh, for heaven's sake, I'm over this now. Why is this? Why won't they just go? It's like these thoughts, you just couldn't clear them. So I do a real good clearing, and I make sure I clear it from everything. Consciousness, experience, frequencies, and you'll know when it's done, then you know it won't come back. Be in your experience at all. But it's because we haven't got something. And now what I was shown this morning was interesting. It's because I thought about it. I thought, okay, you're saying source, but are you embodying the real source aspect of yourself? So when you think of the source, right? The divine source, creator source, which you're part of, you're a fractal, that's all. So then you've all got your own characteristics, different, because you've so-called had so many different stories. So you're going to have unique gifts, unique abilities, unique perspective. And this is why we've got a diverse world for a reason. So now you've got to look at, okay, which source do that? This is interesting. And now I was thinking, okay, you're saying your source now. I'm being the true me, the higher aspect of me, the true source and the true self, right? If I'm source, would I be doing this? And I'll be like, no. And that's actually quite easy then to realize, to see. So I'm using that now. Okay, I'm source. I am, because if you're going to walk around saying, I'm source, I'm a creator, I manifest, you are still like me, and then I'm source. Then that's like my big boy, my big brother, it's like daddy hanging over me. No, you're actually accepting I am that. It's not big brother, big daddy's watching over me. I am that. It's really standing in the power. Because we kind of, it's on my higher self. It's not me. Now, we don't want to accept who we really are. Is truly, you are source. So when it's like, I found when you want to now stand in the big boots, it's like teaching us to stand, and we're getting there slowly. Because we're coming out of a real complete opposite. So it's quite a big jump coming from this victim mentality and oppressed to like you are the most powerful, you create a world kind of thing. So it's really interesting, standing in your standing in your boots now. And I find it a very easy test when I say, okay, so I'm source. Would source be doing this? No. So why are you doing it? So that for me, I'm finding it like today. I realized, okay, that's actually quite an easy way to see. And then I realized I know what it's trying to. Okay, right. Okay, get your act together, Anna. Get disciplined. And some of these habits that are habits now to the body, you can talk to the mind, body, the vessel. So you can talk to the vessel. You can speak to your nature, instruct it, your body. So you tell your body, no, we're not doing that, or your mind, you go. But it takes, like anyone that knows you've broken patterns, like serious patterns, neuro pathways or any addictions or any of these kind of things, it takes at least 2 weeks. So it's going to lag, and then you're going to be like, oh, you get annoyed. And it's like, no, we are not. And it's trying to catch yourself. We are not doing that. We are this. We are not doing that. We are. Like, no, it's like when I wanted to stop smoking. I have stopped smoking, even though I was still smoking. No, I don't smoke anymore. No, I don't smoke anymore. And then 2 weeks later, boom, gone. So it's sticking with it. Oof. It's a testing time, hey? I must admit, I'm finding it a bit testing. A lot of people are. Also tired, because I've been working up every night at 3 o'clock and getting downloads, and then, you're not sleeping much, light sleeping, and then all these dreams, and dehydrated at the moment. I'm a bit dehydrated. Wow. Actually, the skin I noticed this morning. I took a lot of water yesterday. I haven't been drinking near enough water. So, dehydrated, y'all. Being a bit tired today, because sometimes the energies, we're getting energies coming in, they are coming in, we're still getting slowly but light. So we've had incoming light or frequency coming in again, but it's gently coming in, it's gently increasing. So the purging now is softer, it's pushing stuff up. But then, as I say, you can get dehydrated, tired again, because now you're all with these energies. When they're higher, you're getting this high, you feel fantastic, and you're so, and you're feeling so wonderful, in love and in the now, and you're just feeling awesome. And then, then it's like, you're exhausted, because like, you stay on a high, say, for 2 or 3 days, and you're not sleeping enough. Because you're just like lying there in this, anyone knows what you want to call it, in the high, in bliss. You're in that bliss mind and being, and you're just, everything's so hunky-dory, and you're just so happy, you just can't sleep. So after a while, you're like, oh, tired now, I'm really tired, and and you drag yourself like around the place like a snail. So I'm in the tired today one. So there we are. It's interesting, and especially with the outside world, like habits, you'll see, because remember, we are creating. That's what I'm saying. It's now, this year is about realizing you are source. So what are you doing that's not in line with source? The outside, people forget. People think they always look at it's easier to see the things with your personal life. So we look at, okay, yeah, I know this, and okay, my bad habits and my bad this, but then we forget about the external. We think the Maya, right? We are creating. We are creators. You manifest everything. We manifest also what happens collectively on the planet. If we're going to have a smooth transition or wipe ourselves off or any nasty, that's a lot of clearing people haven't done. They haven't released fear of death and dying. They haven't released what happened to them. You've been on the planet a long time. You've experienced more than one cataclysm here, going way back 200,000 years, right? So you were either, you experienced when the comet hit, or the wave hit you, or the earthquakes or volcanic eruption, or whatever happened to you, because we manifested ourselves off the planet before, when we dropped in dimensions, when we dropped in consciousness and dimension before we went down. Obviously, because you're going down into a heavier, denser energy, it wasn't pleasant, high. So we forgot we were creating everything, and I had a bit of a role to play in that. Yes. So, if you're a seer and oracle, like even now people are doing it, and they believe it's your consciousness, it's your projection. So, if you see things and you like the tribal leader or seer or shaman, right, and you tell everybody, look, there's going to be this is going to happen and that bad's going to happen. Obviously, when you're in a lower consciousness, everyone believes you, and if they all take it on as a collective consciousness, you manifest it. So this is what we did before. Seeing the comet coming, or that was going to happen, oh my gosh, and we believed and expected it, because you forgot you saw it, and we annihilated ourselves off the planet. So one of my lessons to learn this time, being that in that position again, was I was put in the same position again, seeing the same things, and of course, like most people, you're not realizing nothing can be in your experience, thus you are creating it all. There's no outside world, it's yours, you are making everything. You're in your own little bubble. So you see things, oh, this is going to happen. Many people are, I see them, they're going around YouTube, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and that, and of course nothing happens. Unless the entire collective, enough people take it on, it'll manifest. So you are seeing things that are coming, and you are telling people. In the old times it was set as well. It was a different epoch, you see. Now it's not. It's a new energy. We're not playing the old game. So things are not working, and people are expecting it to work the same, like doing readings and predicting the future. It's not happening because we are creating it. It's not that one person says, and this is going to happen, and we are creating it. So people are going around like me, and you're seeing, oh, it's going to be that, and it's going to be a comet, and we're going to have this and that. They haven't done their healing and clearing. They need to release that, like they would release anything, a detachment from themselves. It will be gone from your experience. So a lot of people haven't learned that yet. They are seeing things, and then they are resonating with it. Why? Because it's exactly, they haven't done the clearing. Oh my gosh, it's going to be this event, and we're going to have 4 days of darkness, or we're going to have a flood, or we're going to... You have not done your healing and clearing because you are resonating with that story or that thing. When you're low, you do. So I realized that, and also because I was that being in the last. It looked like that civilization. Can't remember what it's called in Mexico. That whole. What's the name? Said it was Atlantis. I don't know. It was a massive compound. It had massive. It was like a big city. Pyramid with like a flat top. And you can go look at my YouTube video where that being, so-called past life, came through now to tell me now what was going to happen, and no one listened then, and he was trying to tell everyone and warn everyone. I was that head priest or major seer for that time, and I foresaw this destruction of the last epoch, the last deluge, whatever. It did happen, and I'm doing the same thing in this game, guiding humanity or telling people through this shift. And then I was like, no. But it was interesting to see, would I do that same mistake again? But I was like, no, I didn't want to do this. I was pushed off it, but I didn't understand why it wouldn't go, why I kept. And then I was like, okay. And then I put two and two together. Because we all know everything's a lesson. Everything in our experience is a mirror. Everything. Or reflection. So it's a lesson showing us. And I was realizing, okay, that's a past life. What's happening now? Aha. But now I know we are creating our reality. We manifest. So why would I want to go around and tell everybody we are going to be annihilated if we manifest? Because if they believe that, enough people believe it, like Uluru, and we did the same with Uluru. It worked. Poof. We have that power because we are source. I learned that lesson. So I did my healing and releasing. I was expecting any disasters and, the shift, and we're going to be this, and we're going to be, the end of the world, and, climate change, or any nasty things. This is because everyone on the planet, very few people survived the last. This is why they all, somewhere along the line, are expecting, we're going to be wiped out. It's going to be the end of the world. We're going to have no food. We're going to have climate change. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. They haven't done it. You need to clear it from your Akash, Earth grid, and like you would do any big clearing. Clear any belief, expectation that there is going to be any negative shift, cataclysmic event, you're going to die in any disaster. Clear that. As a collective, we did. We don't want to experience it again. Clear it. So somehow in the collective, like this government thing, today was very interesting. And most people are still doing it, where you believe the government is negative, corrupt, this and that. We're believing it. We've been programmed to believe it. So this is what you see, right? But we are creating the new earth. We are creating now. We know we are creating. So if we still want to hold that, what are we creating? We're not creating a new earth. We're creating the same nonsense we were programmed. See this? We're carrying the same programs. It's deleting all those programs. So what world do you want to create? Or you're forgetting your source. You see, it's just all about teaching us who we are, reminding us. So today again was the same thing. Okay, you don't want to see all government people, employees, as corrupt, dangerous, this, that, the leaders. You want to see all leaders as wise, as compassionate, as always, looking out for the highest. So this is you need to maybe release all those beliefs and programs you hold that are negative, towards the outside world, or the world you want to see, create the earth, the planet, the governments, all of that. It's the same. All this is because we've experienced all of this with kings and queens and rubbish we've had in the past. You see, we've got to drop the past. As they said, to get into new earth, you need to release it all. We're creating it. We can't drag our old baggage and our old stories and our old history, because this is a different planet anyway. Doesn't matter what happened in 2000 or 12,000 and 10,000 BC, AD, whatever. It's irrelevant. It's a different earth, different consciousness, different energy, everything. Different epoch, different rules actually. The energy's changed, so the rules and the paradigm has changed as well, as you noticed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is exactly. But what people aren't realizing is that they're carrying these, see, outside as well. Because it was the king or the queen or the government, you know, same thing. And what you're going to, we all know this, right? If I expect, like me, everyone to be kind, friendly, this is the world I want to see. Everybody to be kind, friendly, helpful, and collaborative. That's the world I want to live in. Those are the people I want to interact with, right? So everybody I interact with, doesn't matter if it's a shopkeeper, if it's the man on the bus, if it's it's irrelevant, right, where I go. I would like to see everybody being kind, friendly, helpful, collaborative, and it's an uplifting and joy experience for everybody. You know, when you meet people, those are nice people, wow, that was a really nice person, you know, you get those people, that's what you want to, that's the world and the neighborhood and the people, that's the world we're creating, right? So this is what I projected, and I've tested it. You hold those affirmations and the belief, and I go out, and I tell you what, straight, a little old lady actually, other day, offered to carry my stuff and open the door, and it's amazing. I told someone the other day. So this is what we must forget. This is a new epoch, the new earth. We are creating, manifesting it all. So this year is going to be interesting for people to do that. Drop your nonsense. And if anyone had a negative perception on government, military, police, and all those, it was me, because I worked in that industry for a while, and I worked in mostly in Africa. I was based. So the amount of trouble I had, and corruptions and intimidation and threats and whatever else. So if anyone knows what it's like, so for my perception and my experience had been dangerous. They're dangerous, they're untrustworthy, they're corrupt, they're this, they're that, because I literally, but I also get attraction, law of attraction manifesting, because it happened, I was holding it, experience, also I hadn't done my healing and clearing, I was in a lower consciousness, I was carrying lots of different frequencies and vibrations and victim and whatever. Did I draw it to me? So I do understand there was an old epoch, like you are, same karmic lessons, it also manifested on the external. So I drew negative experiences to me. Never mind the people I were with were having dark, dense energy, of course, because you're in that business. Threat, you know, you're looking for threat, you're going to find it. Same thing, you're looking for war, you're going to find it. If you're looking for the bad guy, all you're going to experience is bad guys. Hello, you're going to be lots of them. We'll play for you. So yeah, we've got to let go of that old expectations, because they're belief systems and you're holding it in you. You cannot experience a better earth or a new earth or a nice government or a nice, friend. We want this perfect world. We have to hold those if you're not a frequency vibration matches, well, same with new earth, you're not going to get there. We shift it. We can't shift to that timeline either if we're still expecting to have an arsehole of a government and a bad this and a bad that, because that's the old world. Then you're staying on the old world and you're resonating with it. So there's so much work to do here. Yeah. Hi. It's fascinating. I tell you what, you realize how much programming we got to release. I mean, it's tiring. A lot of you have been doing your hard work. I've been doing this 4 years straight now. What's it, 2019, 20. So it's non-stop. Work, cleaning, everyday healing, clearing, whatever, this, wow. And you think, oh, great, we did a big shift, and you feel wonderful, and you think, okay, great, now we're there. Nope, poof. And then, so yeah, I can see some people have given up, they've started, and they got hot, and they just turned around, and I couldn't be bothered, and I'm going back to just being a normal human, not being a conscious human. They gave up with the work because it is really, so maybe they'll carry on in the next life, then, or so-called, they're choosing not to bother now. But it is hard work. So you do get, sometimes you just feel like, oh no, just give me a break, let me just be an arsehole, let me just be an old bad habit, let me just sit here and have chips, let me just zone out on some shit. Or, you know what I mean, you're going to have the days where you're going to be like, oh, you know what, I don't want to be, because it's such an old habit, and these patterns are so, you've been doing that for so long, binging on social media, or binging on films, or bad habits, having a beer, or, you know, whatever shit we had. It's just, you know, that wasn't good for us. Habits of eating bad food. You know what I found really difficult? Oh, I miss pizza. Oh, I love pizza. I'm drooling for a pizza. But I can't eat cheese. Dairy is like a no-no for me. I can't eat flour either. Wheat also completely out the window for me. I mean, my diet's changed so dramatically. So, like, there's no dairy, and the other rubbish that they make, so-called dairy, it doesn't even taste close to it. I've had one sort of okay cheese. I mean, it's not even close to dairy. It's not even good for you. So I'm not eating any of this artificial junk. It's so far from. A lot of these plant-based foods out there are really not healthy at all. They might be plant-based, but they're far from anything you want to put in your mouth. So yeah, I'm finding it. Yeah. So a pizza is like one of the things I'm like, oh man, I would just love to have one. But I know my body it will not do it. If I have even bread, like anything that's refined or processed, like that bread will sit there for a week or so, block my whole digestive system, and just like, no, that shit, I'm not digesting it, it's too heavy, it's too dense, or it's too... Because you've changed frequency and vibration, every cell in your body, you're holding my light, it cannot do that. It's too dense for our physical vessels now. So, I mean, it's not worth it. You'll get really ill if you keep cheating or pushing your body. So as much as I really want a pizza, I tell you what, it's so tempting. I'm like, just one, just, you know, it's like a birthday treat or something. And like, just, but no, I mean, I battle. I had 2 pieces of bread, gluten-free, whatever, this completely gluten-free bread. I made my own, organic. I bought organic, gluten-free, flour. I've tried everything. And I thought, okay, let me just have some bread. No, didn't like that one. But I can have rice cakes. See, it's fruit or vegetable based, funny. But that flour, I wouldn't do it. It's so strange. So now instead of toast with like eggs, I can have eggs, no problem. I suppose it is natural. Something that's natural you can eat, I find. It coming from Gaia, it comes from the earth. I can have eggs, no problem. So if I have an egg, I can make potatoes. I can fry potato, and I can fry mushrooms and tomatoes. I'll have potato as a substitute for bread. Weird. So yeah, it's a difficult. You're going to be committed to it. Committed to yourself, committed to it. I really am. I mean, it's work. So even when I get tired, I was like, okay, today I'm just going to rest or sleep, or you're just like, oh. But yeah. And this is going to be a difficult one for people, because those that are still angry, then you're playing one foot in. I'm source, but no, that they are. It's projection again. They don't want to accept, they're not ready to accept who they really are. I've got guides and I've got angels and I'm source, but no, they are doing the government, he is this, that, is still outside. They're not there yet. But then, so maybe they're not ready. You see, we're not all going to, in one maybe, let's say we're not in one incarnation because we're shifting bodies. Yeah, it's interesting actually. Because you, instead of being born again, this is your life, you're on life 2 now. I'm on life 3. Some people are on life 2 or whatever. I don't know, I've shifted a few. So yeah, you're still here, but you're in the same vessel. My vessel actually had a bit of help to make the shift. I had some spare parts and a bit of extra help. I had what you want to. When you take a car to the garage for a service, they had parts and things removed. I had some help there to make the shift, because I think that my vessel was like, yes, it's not young, but it's also been through an immense amount of ooh. So it's had a remake, like I had a new, yeah. extra help so I don't have to come back in a new body, you know. Yeah, thank you, Amy. Yeah, we actually create our immunity. But what we got to start admitting is we're creating outside. You see, this is where a lot of people are like, no, because we are so focused on what's happening now. Look what they did. Look what they did. Yes, it's coming out. We know it's all going to come out. It's being sifted out, but always for the good, because the consciousness and energy is going that way. So it's going to work out for the people, for the better, for the right, for all. Not only for them, but for the planet too. All. But yeah, but if we want to see a better world outside, we manifest it. If we keep expecting to have bad because we're buying that, then we're sitting and we haven't done our work. You'll see the minute you do your healing and clearing, and you clear that bad government, clear that corruption, clear this expectation of this, clear the expectation of disaster and all the planet. Never mind poor Gaia. Everybody's projecting all their dark, dense energy on Gaia. Oh, we're going to be wiped out. Oh, Gaia's this. Oh, Gaia's... What are you projecting? That you're projecting so much density, dark energy. Like when you heal, what you do, send good energy to someone, right? What are you doing to the planet? You're projecting she's going to be wiped out, and we're going to have this, and we're going to have that. And I mean, the poor planet, which is a living being, consciousness like you. Can you imagine, and same with people working in the government, and you expect them to do a good job when you're projecting the amount of hate and venom being spewed out there? It's all projection. Everything is projection. Everything. We know that. So if something's in our experience, even the planet, why are you on this planet? Because you were in frequency and resonance with all this shit. Well, you wouldn't have been here. War, divide, duality. This is planet Earth. You had to be a matching frequency to all the nonsense here. And we're not going to change it if we're still a matching frequency to everything, you see. Interesting, I know. This is a lot of where people don't want to hear this, what I'm saying about this. And they're like, nah, you know. And same with this, but so-and-so saw this, and I believe it, and I know it's going to happen. Why? Because you experienced it before, and that's why it's the same thing. Like any lesson is coming up. Are you going to do that again? So the sifting and the sorting, you can see who's still playing victim. No, we want to stay in the old paradigm where that can happen to us, or no, we want to stand in our gumboots and claim our divinity. So you can see that some are like, no. I'm still happy to say they did it. We're gonna, we're just gonna be here, and that's gonna happen. We got no control over everything. That we just, we just here, we just little, that, and we're just gonna be wiped off the planet, and we're gonna have. I mean, same with this thing about food. Why would you project anything negative if you don't? If you expect a negative, doesn't matter what's happening outside, even on the planet. If you're expecting it to go badly, what experience are you saying? Okay, I've decided the situation's bad. It's gonna be bad. So, what experience are you gonna get from it? A bad experience. It doesn't matter what is happening outside in the world, politically or not. If you expect it to go well, everything's gonna work out for the highest good. It's gonna be great. You are only gonna have a positive experience because you're creating it. So you're saying, I can only have a positive experience from this, and this is exactly what Source has to only provide you. Well, your neighbors might have a terrible experience because they've got a different belief and energy too, you see. We've got to start standing in our Source boots now. And I know some aren't ready, so they get cross with me. Oh no, I know, I've seen it, and other people have seen it, and this is going to happen, and that, and and I was like, that's their Maya. Because they're creating it. You're creating everything. If you're resonating with it and you don't like what you are seeing, or don't like the world out there, change what's in here. And you will see that you clear enough of it, you won't experience, you'll shift anyway, because you're not in resonance with any of that at all. Cannot be in your experience. It cannot be. It's physics. But if you keep tuned into that station, then you're going to, experience what's on that station. There we are. So there we are. We're having fun, people. It's hard work. So watch the dreams. Watch the little fine details in there. Maybe that you haven't picked up. Because if you can't if source can't bring that lesson or that person back into your experience physically, for you to just to see if you've learned or whatever, it's going to come up in a dream. Okay. And you're also going to feel that Akash, because that's old earth, those old karmic lessons and people and things, the 3D that you got is unwinding. So things that are coming in, you're seeing and thinking about the dreams, it's only because it's clearing from your Akash and earth grid, because it's no longer relevant to you or to the earth. That third dimensional thing is going. So you'll see it looks like all this stuff. Why is it going through? It's only because it's clearing. It's clearing from your existence, your experience, your energies, your Akash, the earth grid, because we shifted it. So all of these things. It's quite busy times, all right. So watch out. And then, like I said today, think about it. Would source do? Your source. So would source behave like this? Nah. So then that's the old version of you that still, got that. That's how I can compare. Like, okay, I'm source. Now I'm source standing right here. So most people would imagine Jesus or something anyway, because that's just a program. You program in that aspect, your reflection. So now we then say, you can imagine they would, no, I don't think so. So, okay, don't do that. I'm going to change that behavior. Oh. And no one said it's going to be easy. I'm fighting with mine who are like, just, not letting up, some of them. I'm like, do you want to take the tennis bat out and beat it, get out. Just it gets so annoying. So here we are, hang in there. Anybody else having any fun? Any other relevant you can share? Yeah, I know. But it's programs. The programs that we are holding are unbelievable. Actually, everything actually. That entire epoch that we've lived through, and the entire when you were born, 3-dimensional Earth, your whole life actually has been a program. Because your parents were programmed, the television, the teachers, this is what you do, this is what job you should have, and this is what, the car, clothes. Look at people, they're still running around like parrots. Everybody buys this, and the latest, you're all going to have the latest iPhone, you're all going to, and because of course marketing just plays on that anyway, mass marketing, especially marketing. So when you do enough, you won't be affected. You won't be, the marketing won't work on you, put it that way, the programming. Same with the social engineering going on. You should be eating that and not doing this and then. You're not going to be looking outside because you don't need to be teacher. You don't need the daddy and mommy anymore. Then you're doing well when you've already done a lot, because then you found out that you're not interested in what other people say and think and you should, whatever. You see. You'll see. And we are running programs. Everything you believe, this is what you should do, and I should be a good father, and I'm supposed to have a good job, and I'm supposed to earn that much, and to be successful, I should have a house that looks like that. And this is all bullshit. It's been fed to you to make somebody else wealthy. And then we were never happy, and we had all these divorces, and our kids didn't want to talk to us, and we couldn't understand why the world went wrong, and but we're doing everything right, but I'm not happy because we were projecting. We're taking on someone else's projection of what they expected from us, or your mom thought this is what, so I'm going to be and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to do what someone else told. The bullshit we were carrying. We don't even know we don't even know who we are. Yeah, we are busy. Everyone's going to transmute their own. We're not a garbage bin, nor is Gaia. Everyone dumping their negative energy and clearing and energy into poor Gaia. She's not a rubbish bin. People must stop projecting terrible things onto her, doom and gloom and destruction. They must stop, when they do their clearing, dumping it in Gaia. She's not a trash bin. That was an old way of being. Remember, everything's energy. What you send out, give. We do it ourselves. We just release it. Don't have to dump it anyway. We release that energy to move freely. It's all source. It's just a role. So we don't have to try and get rid of it and dump it on source. We just release it. Okay, thanks. It's just source playing a role. We no longer serves us. Thank you very much for the lessons, and off you go now. You're not from our highest and greatest good. Bye. But this year, it's just, well, we're getting there. As I say, I mean, look, when you first start off, wow, massive difference. And then you think, wow, you know, and then, oh, well, yeah, ooh, now you're under a microscope, a whole different ball game. It's like, shit. It never ends. And then you're looking outside and you're like, okay, yes, no. We've got to be the world we want to see. Can't expect them. It's the same thing. Oh, but they are, he's bad and she would, and same with letting other people influence you, what you should do and eat and be and feel. It's bullshit. Absolute. No one, as I say, should be programming you except yourself. Who cares what everyone thinks you should be doing? It's their projection. And wearing and liking and dating, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with it. But anyway, we're getting there. Yeah. And you won't be tempted that, you know, this marketing won't work on you at all. You won't even need it. But anyway, they're not going to change in a hurry. It's business. People want money, so they're going to use all the tricks in the book to try and get you to, you know, buy or consume or whatever they want you to buy or consume. It's simple as that. It's always been. Still going on massively, and I watch people, they don't even think, they just share. Repost, and I'm like, yeah, very much. We're learning not to need it. That's the thing we were also taught, a big program. Because remember at school, please your teachers, do what teacher wants, do what mommy wants, do what the priest wants. You see, make him happy. Or modify my behavior, and when he's happy, I get a star. Guess where that comes from? Very young programming. See, do what the teacher wants, and you'll get a star. Who hasn't had that one? Everybody. So this is where it comes from, okay? To please others. We're not just to be ourselves and be happy with ourselves. Oh, I don't look right and I don't feel right because, you know, now look at everyone. False backsides and false boobs and false lips. And because, you know, that, oh, you've got to look like that because now somebody says, and everyone's marketing, everyone wants to look like her. That's really sad if you think about it. How many people are trying to copy their looks and look like somebody else? We weren't taught to, just to be happy with ourselves, to love ourselves and to, yeah. Anyway. You do your work and you'll be untouchable. And the outside will not bother you because you realize you are creating it all. People think the outside world, it's me and I have no impact, I've got no say, I'm in the world world's just there. No, you're creating everything. Everything. You are like in your own little bubble. This is a bubble and the earth's inside your bubble too. Hi. Thank you. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Bloody amazing when you see it too. I'm having a rude awakening. Did I have some shit habits? I was so embarrassed. I was so mortified to see some of the things I did. I was like, oh my gosh. I actually found them so humiliating. I can't believe I did that and behaved like that. It's like you want to climb on a rock and like, oh my Lord, I am so sorry. I had some really bad habits, behavior habits. One I'm aware of now with my daughter. My kids kept telling me off, so now I'm breaking that pattern. So many things like being highlighted, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to be that person anymore. No, I don't behave like that. No, I don't want to behave like that. So embarrassing when you realized how you behaved. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, so embarrassing. I'm mortified to think I did that to other people. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I mean, understand, like then it was not intentional. You operating blindly. You say your program, you had no clue you were doing that. You had no clue how you were behaving. I was like, oh God, Lord. How many people you offended completely unaware. Yeah, everybody is a Mariah. Everybody. Absolutely. Because remember, they cannot be in your experience if they don't share a frequency or vibration. They cannot. Nothing can. Even the planet, even the external, even the man next door, the government, the bus driver. You wouldn't even be on the planet if you weren't a frequency match to a lot of that. That's why I say, let's choose better timelines. I'm like, no. There are timelines. I mean, it doesn't have to be. People expecting the shift to be a wipeout. Why? This is because the last shift was, but they're forgetting the last shift was a shift down in dimension, much darker, denser energy. It was an old epoch, an old earth, everything. So all of us as source would not have planned to go through an entire shift in consciousness with the planet, again, in physical form, not reincarnated. If we were going to wipe ourselves off, okay, let's go do it again, and let's annihilate ourselves drastically so we can traumatize ourselves and take on more dark, dense energy. That would be counterintuitive. Because if you're trying to increase the light and frequency and consciousness of the planet, and we're going through all this healing and purging, only to annihilate ourselves off, to take on massive collective trauma again, no, Source is not an idiot. Source is divine. Source is loving. Source has, so we are Source. All our collective consciousnesses are together as Source. Source is the most divine, benevolent creator of all things. Why, when your plan is to raise humanity, would you think about it logically? As I'm saying, it's just counterintuitive. Let's go and annihilate ourselves off again, the planet, and we'll have mass trauma, and there we are. Let's sink into, we'll just drop the entire collective consciousness again. Don't be ridiculous. See, we're just not thinking it through because we haven't done our healing and clearing. So we then will automatically, oh my gosh, believe that, because we still, program the Bible, or we program to believe, the last thing. We never, obviously, because you haven't experienced it again since the last shift on the planet went really badly, you haven't had to go through it again, so that lesson hasn't come up again. But now we're going through it. Watch everybody. Oh my gosh, we're going to be wiped out by a comet. Oh my gosh, there's going to be this. Oh my gosh, there's going to be that. Oh my gosh. Which one, depending on where you were and what you experienced, people need to let that go. Even our scientists, they're just human. Same thing. Oh, we're going to have this food. We're going to have that. Why? Because that's what happened. They had the shift and they had issues there and they had no food with it. So I'm saying they don't realize they are creating it. So they're spewing their projections of fear and doom and gloom out there to the public, who are sitting there on their televisions or their social media, and oh my gosh, they're going to resonate with whatever they haven't worked on themselves. End of story. But no, we're not going to. Source had no, we can do it. As we know, we are creators. Enough to learn the lesson. That's a timeline they will re-experience. But there are timelines, as we all know, have none of this nonsense on them. None of it. No. Perfect. No distraction, no nothing. I've chosen that one. I'm like, yeah, no. I don't think I need to relearn that one. I don't think I need to relive a deluge or Atlantis or no, I once was enough. Thank you. So I've chosen not to re-experience that one. That lesson, I was like, no, okay, I got it. And the funny thing was, exactly guess who was up there telling them? I even shared it on my YouTube channel. That being came through. Of course, I didn't realize. You're forgetting, you are everything and everyone anyway. It was a lesson. Comes through and tells me, and it's the same being and whatever else. And there he was standing on top of that pyramid, addressing the whole thing. It was about 200,000 people. It was huge, massive crowd in his robes. And he was addressing the people, warning them, with other priests, what was going to happen. I even shared his name, and then telling me this is going to happen, what's coming down here. And I was telling people, look, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. And I was always shown these things. And they were quite correct when I started off. I was telling people, look, there's going to be an earthquake here, this, that. And then eventually I was like, no, I don't want to see this shit anymore. I actually asked them not to show me anymore. It was negative, and I don't want to see all this doom, gloom. Why am I all I see all the nasty? I don't want to, I don't want to see it. So I blocked them. I was blocking it. And then I'd start meditating, and I didn't put anything, and poof, they would show me things again. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I actually almost became too fearful to meditate, because I didn't know what I was going to see. So I didn't want to just relax and let them, because I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then I realized, as I say, when it started coming up and I accepted it, and then I realized the parallel. I was like, okay, this being is doing that in that life, and what am I doing in this life? And let's just have a look. Oh dear. Then I realized that was my lesson, like everybody's lesson, Yeah. because we honestly didn't remember that we were source, so we were creating. And look at them. They had, even in Egypt, the tombs, they were burying with their gold and being buried with all their nonsense because they still identified with a being of a body. They were identifying with this, I am so-and-so, I have a body, I have a this and that. They were in a lower state of consciousness. This is why they valued, the death and the, living and being buried with my jewels and gold and the after-death life experience, navigating, because they believed they were not source. There was me and source. Much lower consciousness. They forgot they were creators. They were creating it. Yeah. Anyway, there we are. I'm not playing that game again. Others might want to play that game again. There's a valid timeline for that. They can go off and be lemmings, but I don't fancy being a lemming. It's like, no. No, thank you. Learned that one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you say need, then it won't happen. Remember, when you manifest, you've got to see it as done. Not I am healing, I need to. It's like when I want to stop smoking. I was going around, my kids thought I was insane. I've stopped, I'm not smoking anymore. I don't smoke anymore. And they're like, Mom, you're still smoking. I'm like, no, I don't, just watch. And I was talking to my Nate. It's like, we are not smoking anymore. We're not doing this. We're going to stop. And I was saying what we wanted to do. And we're going to stop and have no this. And exactly what I wanted and said happened to the T. So when you say I want to heal myself, it's your perception also where you're viewing yourself as. You still seeing yourself as a body, separate, and first of all a matter. You're not solid and you're not matter either. I made a video. You'll see you are restricted. If you view yourself as solid, I'm a body, blood, vessels, all that nonsense. You're a holographic projection. You are source energy streaming. You are a stream of consciousness being projected. So tell your cells, just talk to your body, it's listening to you, don't worry. They're because that's what you are, your energy. All of them are conscious and they're listening to you. Let's play now. And you are the driver. So you tell your cells, you talk to your form, it's a form. So I don't say it's a body because it's not, it's a human form, which you can change too. See, it depends on your consciousness and your belief, how set you are. We're getting there, you'll see, we're going to have leaps and bounds. So you see yourself as source energy. You are. What are you? Source consciousness. You are pure consciousness and pure energy. There we are. If I'm pure energy and science tells you, then you can heal. And it doesn't take time to heal because you are energy. It can be instant. Instant. And it will be. Like you'll take 2 weeks to program that. Listen. There we are. Not if you happen to see there's no crap outside. If you're trying to avoid something, it's not going to go away because you've got to understand it's with you. If you've cleared it and removed it from you, there will be no crap outside. You see, as you clear it, that crap disappears. As you clear it, that crap disappears. That experience, okay, so you won't have any more of those experiences, no more of that, those people. So we have to, the outside won't bother you because you will be in your own, and your experience will be happy, your life will be great. And you've got to leave everybody to create their own shit in their own time. But what they're creating won't have an impact on you. I don't even know what's happening out there. I have no clue what's happening. I mean, there could have been, that planet, a continent could have sunk and I'd be completely unaware of it. Plus some of it's not even on my timeline. You might be here, but you'll be unaffected because it's not on your timeline. It's just not in your reality. It's like you're not resonating with it. So it doesn't matter what happens, it will not affect you. That's all. But no, we can't just say, okay, we're going to jump planets. Because if you're not a frequency match, how can you move straight to New Earth now in the physical body? First of all, you've got to go up. Your body needs to, like us, we're constantly going up in light frequency. You know how much shit I'm doing 4 years straight non-stop. 4 years of this. And I haven't even, that we deprogramming an entire epoch. So you've taken on so many beliefs, consciousnesses, crap, energies, frequencies, vibrations, trauma, blah, 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 through life, through an entire epoch. So it's not a quick process. I wish it was, because I'd be like, let's go. Like you, I'm like, this is really, how long do we, So just ignore what's outside. Because the more you co-create with it, the more you focus on it and you're like mixing with it, you are taking on a bit of that energy. Remember, everything you're now focusing on or getting upset about, you have chosen to put your focus in and now mix your energy with that. So now you've just taken on a bit of that energy. So you are actually all the time fracturing your energy. Positive, negative, this, that, a bit of, you've got a fruit salad going on there. So I'm trying to clean up my fruit salad and make it a smoothie. I'm like, no, I don't want that in my reality. I don't want to co-create with it. I don't want to be part of that negative, nasty, ugly projection, hate, all that. It's spewed. And if you feel the energy, it's sticky, dark, it's like tar. I do not want my energy to be mixed, you know what I mean? So while people are going through their purging and their hate and their spewing and their ugliness and their anger and their shit, it's their energy. It's not mine. I do not want to mix with it, co-create with it, entangle with it, focus on it. I don't. You don't want to. No. Enough of that shit. You work enough on your own. You've done enough of your work. Why would you want to take on anyone else's shit? Let them. It's their stuff to work on. You know what I mean? Their lessons. No, you can go as fast as you want. It's individual, remember, because it's up to us individually. You shift as well on your speed. Absolutely up to you. But I tell you what, it depends. I can't say, because I've had a lot of shit, because I had a lot of, let's say, this being I chose, the story, theme I chose in this. It's not even this carnation, let's say, because we've just shifted again in bodies. So my last life that I was born into Earth 3D, my parents, the parents I had in this body, let's say. This body, it's not actually even that a body changed. We're cheating here, but it still looks the same. So the body I'm living in now, or possessing now, this thing, and the parents, I chose, wow. Remember, I also obviously had lots of frequencies and vibrational matches, so I connected into a lot of shit and I accumulated a massive amount of trauma, because you were always looking outside too. You didn't realize, you had no clue, you were manifesting and drawing, attracting it. I mean, oh good grief. So yeah, and physical, look at the body, I mean the physical damage and to the everything. So there was such, jeez, wow, yeah. Yes, of course. Of course you can manifest fear. Of course you do. You manifest everything. What you believe, you decide that's true, or you fear, you draw it to you. You're resonating with it. If you ever fear, it's only because it's trying to show you, that one, do you want to still think of it like that, or do you rather want to, Because what we didn't realize is we're choosing it. People think there's one truth, or this is it. No, you choose your reality, because you're creating it all. So why would I choose, if you realize you can choose everything, you're creating everything, right? Why would you choose even a negative thought? Look at the beings from higher dimensions or other being people channel. There's no negativity at all. They wouldn't dream of thinking anything negative, because if they associate it or label it as negative, your experience will be negative. So you would have no negative thoughts or negative beliefs or anything, because you are manifesting it. They know that they are source. They know that's why they call them higher beings, light beings, consciousness, where everyone talks about. So if then you've got to understand they know their source, right? They haven't got any doubts. So no, they're standing in their power. That's why they're doing things they're doing. We're still like, no, we're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm source, but no, I'm not. But then no, we're playing. We're not standing solidly in our shoes. So we would then realize, like even me, you say that, but then you have the days and you're like, you wouldn't have one negative thought. You wouldn't entertain it, because no, why would I create anything shit for myself? You would only pick the best. Only pick the best and the best thoughts, because that's what you're going to create. You're like, oh no, I'll have some of this, and I'm going to have mine. That's fantastic, and I'm happy, and it's wonderful, and it's beautiful, and the planets are in. I have abundance of food, and that's what I do. My manifestations are the same. I wake up every morning. Thank you for the wonderful morning. You know that old song that came into my consciousness. It's a great one to wake up with. So wake up in the morning, no matter what the outside is, the weather doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. So wake up and good morning, every day is a beautiful day, every day everything's going my way. Oh, what a wonderful morning, oh, what a wonderful day. Oh, what a wonderful morning. Everything's going my way. And that song is now stuck. So when I wake up in the morning, guess what's on my mind? Oh, what a wonderful morning. And oh, what a wonderful day. Everything's going my way. There we are. That's mine. I was like, that's a good one anyway. That's it. Yeah. It's exactly. We've just got to get around, and slowly people will, you'll see this year, they'll be guided to start changing your shit story there. If you want a better world, it starts with you. It starts with you. Not the shift. The timeline doesn't shift. You can't even get on the timeline and shift with it if you're not the same freak. If you want to be on a better timeline, well, then get your ass on it. That's me. If you want to be, we're going to be wiped off the planet, get your ass on, then off you go. You know, but let people choose. Don't worry about them or the outside. It will change when you change, because that outside is in your bubble. There we are. All right, people, I know. We'll get there. We won't even have negative social media. So I'm saying, good God, the person who gets intelligent, a good investor, someone that wants to make money, some people I don't have that obsession with money, so that's why I tell people ideas and off you go. I don't have that thing. I don't need money. Money. Yes, but I don't have this. Like, I want to get rich. It's my mind. Some people, all they think about is getting wealthy. Then they can create it. You know what I mean? That's for them. I'm happy. Happy. That for me is happy. I'm happy. Learning a different one. So if someone say we'll get there, that'll be our future. It's going that way. There'll be no negativity. Your media will be positive. Someone starts, like I said, please do it. The quicker the better. A social media platform where you've got like a mix of everything, like TikTok, Google, everything. You can have all videos and posts and pictures and whatever you want to do. But only positive content. No propaganda, no fear porn, no negativity, no bad. So the videos and content will only be uplifting, happy, good, positive. That's it. I promise you, they will not believe the speed they will grow, because everybody like me will be on it. When you want to now entertain yourself, there's nothing you can watch, because you understand you don't want to absorb any negative energies and take on anyone's projection and fear and shit. And it's just projection, all their warped consciousness, doom, gloom, murder, whatever, fear, control. That's just in them. So you don't want any more of that. You don't see it in any of higher existing, let's say, realms. They don't have any of this shit. None of it. And they sure don't put it on a screen and give it to the children. Oh, let's have serial killer days. Let's have mass murderers. They wouldn't even dream of publicizing it. The more you publicize it, the more, they go, oh, good Lord, as I say. We will get there where our news and everything will be very different. They're not going to be jumping out there to show you the bad news or any of that shit. You wouldn't even dream of it, because you're promoting it, putting it in people's consciousness, and so they all think, oh. So no, you're polluting your consciousness, actually. So our media, and this is where I say, please hurry up and do it, will be positive. Our news will be positive. Our stories will be positive. There'll be no negative projection, anger, hurt. No, you know what I mean? And you'll see it will vanish from people's society, because you reprogram. The mind will be now you're putting positive things in. The programming that's been going into the human brain for far too long has been manipulative. It's nothing positive. It was not for any good, you see. Because we were at a lower consciousness. And we didn't self-work. So it's greed, it's control, it's manipulation, it's this, it's that. Oh. There wouldn't be even a negative thought out there. And there won't be. That would be wonderful. Anyway. But yeah, you want to get ahead of the game, like me. Look, think about it. You don't have to worry about others. Remember, it's for you. They're just playing a role for you. So the faster and the higher you can go, the better. So your next carnation, guess what? You'll be ahead of the game. Rather lead the flock than be at the back of the flock. You see, because you're making the story. So for me, I might have an odd day, but I'm back up there. Look at me, I'm resilient. Look. Very resilient. This is the role I played. Wow, good Lord, this life. I can have the badge. I can have the cup, the gold cup for resilience. That's me. Maybe that's why I chose that life, you see. So I can be like super resilient. So when this came around and everyone's like falling apart and oh my gosh, and there's me. No, what are you going on about? Funny. But resilience was, wow, I did. If I look at the theme, this life, woo, and it started from a young kid, eh? So I chose a hell of a tough time from a very little kid to teach me to like. Interesting, actually. I found it very interesting because I mean, not that you knew then what was coming now. So if I look at the theme and the life, I think this is interesting. Actually, a lot of us, a lot of people leading now the times now. Ooh, look at their lives; they're very interesting. So they played very, very hard, tough roles to overcome here, to be very strong for now. Interesting, eh? Fascinating. So you then can hold up, lead everybody else, because you are resilient, big time. Big time. Anyway. All right, people. It's time for me to go now. My juices. Let's go and wash all that stuff. Try and get the yellow off the hands. Really looks bad. And there's another thing I'm working on, the nails. Oh, man. That's a terrible habit I developed when I got sick, when that medicine went wrong. And I'm also still working with neural pathways there. Wow. That were developed during that very unpleasant experience. Oh, said be manifested. That happened to the brain, the damage. I'm working with overcoming some neural pathways and patterns that I got during that time that were really unpleasant. So rewiring the brain. Yeah, I'm working on the brain again. Anyway. And the nails. Yeah. I actually got a better understanding of that being what they want to say, out of the body. I got that understanding in all levels. And every aspect of being out of the body or disassociation, I know what it means on all levels now. Fascinating, actually. I didn't realize that you actually, as a soul, you draw your consciousness out from the body. Like completely. You disassociate your consciousness from that vessel. And you can actually see it now in people's pictures. Absolute disassociation. They've been so traumatized they will not associate this. You can see them in their photograph, their soul's out of that body. It's not in their body, their consciousness. Not blank. Because you're so, that you just quite a challenge. Anyway, out of the body, I've experienced it in all aspects, even leaving the body. I've experienced that one. And like, bye-bye, Yeah. Fascinating. I know it's such trauma that it's like a shock, and that's it. So when they say disassociation, I don't think they understand it. Obviously, psychiatrists will say, they just think that your mind is, no, the actual soul, the aspect, the consciousness, which is not in the brain or mind, actually, it does really do that. And I do it because then I was working through some trauma. Michelle helped me there because I completely disassociated. She's like, okay, and then she can see as well, okay, you're out the body again, okay, and I get back in the body again. She's like, no, feel safe in there. So she's trying to work, and I had like disassociated again and completely out of the body. I was like, when you're going through that again, it's like it's fascinating when you're able to see it through the third eye, what's happening in the trauma, when you're going, processing serious trauma. It's like, yeah, complete. But that's I think the hardest one to do is the neural pathways in the brain. This is the patterning, especially when you've had the medicine damage from chemicals or medicines. Yeah, so this is what I'm really working on. Big one. There's nothing, but that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of bullshit. Chemical imbalances of the brain. It's the medicine is doing the chemical imbalance in the brain. That's absolute nonsense. That was absolute lots of rubbish. That'll come out in the future. You'll see. It's going to be that's been very suppressed and hidden Massive money has been settled out of court cases to hide a lot of that. Not at all. Nope. As I say, we know it's thoughts. Joe Dispenza will tell you that. It's thoughts, and it's us not looking. It's a quick fix. It's us not looking. We ignored the messages you're trying to get. They were trying to, your soul's giving you. You ignored it. You were taught, don't just take a pill. Ignore, push through. Just where. This is what I'm saying. Push, push, push. Ignore yourself. Don't take care of yourself. Just, work. We do this, do that. It's a society we created. And so no, and of course it builds up. It won't go away. So what your higher self will do, or your soul aspect, the source part of you, will just make that problem bigger and bigger because you're ignoring it. It's because it's trying to get your attention. And we call it mental health. No, we're calling it your soul's trying to kick your ass and say you're on the wrong flipping road, mate. You need to get back on that. This is all it's about. Well, you will see that. We're going there. But it's a massive industry, billion-dollar business. Nobody wants to lose that business. So there's not a business that's going to go away in a hurry, easily. Then no. You got a problem. You see, that's a victim again. Something wrong with you. No, you control. Your biology doesn't control you. You control your biology. So you take those medicines and then you have a serious problem. Yeah, do you? I can talk for that one. There's a lesson I went through in a very, very nasty way. Very, very bad way. Yeah. Anyway, I'm working on it. I've done a lot already. But yeah, there are some ones I'm working on there. I know now who's the boss. We're not playing games anymore. So there we are. I know what I am. So I don't give up easily, as I say. I've got the resilience badge. And we know, you come back here. We're playing ball. We're not, we are. So but it'll test you like yourself. And so it's like, for me, how much, and I'm like, okay. So you've really got to, I know, because I've been through this more than once. Put your foot down and say, right now. And you get fed up. And you refuse to give in, It will leave. That's it. Anyway, guys. Yeah, there's many people that have suffered terribly. There's so much. Wow, there's so much. That's such a nasty business. And so hidden. The damage is done is astronomical. But you see, if you want to play victim, that's what'll happen. Okay, I'm not, whatever, give me a tablet, somebody else. You're giving your power away to others. I need a doctor. You can make me better. That can help me. This is something. It's always somebody else, not us. This is the problem. And now as we're waking up, this is what we're learning. But it's not an easy lesson, But if you still want to play victim, well, then the lesson can't leave you because you haven't learned, you see. Yeah, well, exactly. That's a story I know about well, you see, because I was certified big time. With that, yeah. Same thing, because you kept looking outside. You didn't realize issues with you, it's someone else. We didn't realize nothing is our experience unless it's with us. So the issue was within us. It's only a reflection. We didn't understand what the thoughts were, the emotions were there for. We only understood it here. We thought the human brain, we didn't understand there was a higher aspect, the gamer, and with the remote controls, and you just playing. And if you're ignoring the remote controls, it's going to go, no, make you go. You're off course. You see, this is the thing. You're completely, in this whole aspect of epoch, we cut the source out. The soul, the spirit was left out of the whole equation. Big problem. And then we're like, but why is society why is it so bad? Why have we got so much mental health? Why have we got so much suicide? Why have we got so much this, that? The whole world fell apart. Dysfunction, 201. There we are, you go. Because you had removed the actual, the gamer. There we are. Didn't work out well. And you were just going off without a rudder. Okay, let's just go. Forgetting who the hell you were. Anyway, there we are. Didn't work out. All right, guys. Speak to you again. I want to get going. Have a great day, morning, evening. I don't know what part of the world you're in.